Hi everyone. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome and thanks for joining us today at this DTCX webinar, How to Deliver an Omnichannel Experience that Converts. I'm Paul, I'm a Strategic Partner Manager here at Gorgeous and I'll be your host for today. I've been with Gorgeous for about 18 months now after coming from Shopify, where I worked with some of the largest brands on the platform. And before that, I was actually a Shopify merchant myself. So I've seen firsthand the challenges and opportunities that come with scaling an e-commerce business. But one of the best parts of working in this ecosystem is collaborating with the incredible partners who are all focused on making merchants' lives easier. And we have several of those partners with us today, all in the technology space, who will be serving and sharing their insights on how to build that omni-channel experience that converts. As we go through the session, please feel free to drop any questions into the chat. We'll answer as many as we can live, and for anything that we don't get to, we'll definitely follow up after the webinar. And before we get started, a quick mention of DTCX. For those of you who are unfamiliar, this is Gorgeous's events umbrella, where we bring together experts from across the Shopify ecosystem, including merchants, tech partners, and agencies, to share knowledge and best practices through both in-person and online events throughout the year. So if you're looking to stay here in e-commerce, keep an eye out for what's coming next on the calendar. But with that said, we're going to have a number of great speakers today. Please ask questions, give feedback, engage with the speakers and the guests. And if you're on social media, tag us using the hashtag DTCX so that we can get visibility and engage with your content. Here is our speaker lineup today. We've got Mike Rossi, who's the co-founder and CEO at Smile.io. We've got Tamana Bawa, who's a technology partner manager at Triple Whale. Myself, I'll be speaking on behalf of Gorgeous. And then we've got Samantha Sussman from Autogroove, who is a product manager over there. And like we do throughout all of our webinar series, we have some special giveaways today. So as I mentioned earlier, please be active participants and engage with the speakers throughout their presentations. We'll be going through the chat to see who's most engaged and who's asking great questions. And we'll select some lucky winners out of the chat to give these prizes that have been kindly offered up by the partners on the call today. But with that intro out of the way, let's kick things off. I'll pass you over to our first speaker, who's going to be Samantha Sussman from Autogroove. And I will just stop sharing my screen, Samantha, and let you take over here. Welcome.
Thank you. Can everyone see my screen?
Yeah, we got you.
Awesome. Well, it's great to meet you all. I'm Samantha. I'm a group product manager at Autogroove, and I'm excited to chat with you all today. Just for those of you who are unfamiliar with Autogroove, a quick intro. We have been a leader in the relationship commerce space for well over a decade. We'll describe relationship commerce in a moment. And we've been helping merchants drive profitable growth through igniting indispensable relationships with consumers through subscription and membership experiences. And we work with serious brands across the ecosystem in pretty much every vertical, helping them build out their subscription and membership programs. And we work with merchants who are on Shopify, BigCommerce, Salesforce, or any other custom or other e-commerce platform in the market. So I want to explain what I mean by relationship commerce and talk about how we view that within the market. And it's really about evolving beyond traditional transactional commerce. So when you think about shopping in person or online, a lot of that historically has been one-time or one-and-done transactions. And what we've seen with the concept of relationship commerce is that there is a bit of a maturity curve in the market. The more that relationships are something that is indispensable to your business, the greater that your ability to grow profitably is. So subscriptions has been a key innovation in the market that has been a driver of relationship commerce by helping merchants have a recurring revenue stream and drive retention. But what we've seen over the years as subscriptions become a lot more commonplace is that to have a really omni-channel approach, you can't just have a basic subscribe and save program that you set and forget. The best brands really lean into the concept of relationship commerce by making their subscription experiences completely interwoven throughout their customer journey. So over the next couple of minutes, I will talk through some of the key ways to create frictionless experiences for your subscription program, and highlight some examples of customers who are doing this really well today. So when we talk about omni-channel conversion within the context of subscription, we're thinking about both upsell and cross-sell optimizations. On the upsell side, this means getting more customers to upsell from a one-time purchase to a subscription where they're signing up to get your products on an ongoing basis. So this is really about converting customers to grow your subscriber base. On the cross-sell side, this is about getting customers to spend more. So how do you convert your existing subscribers to have more subscriptions or add more items to their subscription orders so that you can grow revenue from your existing subscriber base? I'm going to talk about a few different services that are really critical across the subscriber journey that support these conversion optimizations. The first one is about your product details page. This is the key surface to introduce subscriptions to your customers and give them a reason to enroll. And having been in this space for many, many years, we've done a lot of our own testing as well as testing with our merchants to build out best practices on what are the best ways to convert and upsell one-time purchasers into a subscription. So from different UI optimizations, for example, using go buttons over checkboxes, which we've seen to convert much better, as well as making sure that you are communicating the details of your subscription and the value that customers will get by subscribing in a way that is concise and clear. So in the example on this slide is from Clarins. They did an overhaul of their PDP enrollment experience, following some of our best practices. And what they found is that within the first month of launching these updates, they actually doubled their subscription sales. So what we learned from this is that small changes can have really outsized impact on conversion, and iterating and continuing to test to maximize your PDP enrollment optimization is really critical. We don't like to set and forget. You'll hear me mention that a lot, but it's really helpful to continue to evolve and test your way into the highest possible conversion that you can have on these surfaces. What we know is that subscribers have more than double the LTV of one-time purchasers. And so having as many opportunities as possible to encourage a customer to opt into a subscription is critical to maximizing that conversion. So we think about all of the different parts of the purchase journey, in addition to the PDP. As we're going further along in a customer's purchasing journey, the cart provides another opportunity to get a customer to upsell to a subscription that's a little bit further down the funnel. So what we found is that cart opt-ins, like you can see in the example here with Ollie, can boost enrollments by 30%. And so the more opportunities you give a customer to upsell into a subscription and convert them into a repeat purchaser, the higher your overall conversion will be in your enrollment rates. And with a cart opt-in, you're able to do that as you're getting very close to the point of purchase, which becomes a pretty high yield opportunity to have that conversion. And then last example that I want to share is on more of the communication side of things. So a key part of relationship commerce is the different communication channels that you have with your customers. And in a subscription context, this is really important as customers get orders on an ongoing basis, and you want to make sure that they continue to have a positive experience. So we have functionality called one-click actions that can be baked into our communications channels that allow subscribers to take immediate action on their subscription, whether that's through SMS or email. And so with a single click and no login required, they can do things like add items to an upcoming order, which can increase AOV via a cross-sell opportunity, as well as take actions like delaying an order, which can help with ensuring retention rather than cancellations in examples where maybe a customer is overstocked and not ready for their order just yet. So like I mentioned, communication is a really critical part of that customer journey when you're focusing on building out that relationship commerce experience and focusing on ways that you can make a subscriber's experience a lot easier and frictionless helps with continuing to foster that relationship and drive that retention at the end of the day. So going back to the maturity curve that I mentioned at the beginning, we covered ways to increase omni-channel growth and conversion across different parts of the subscriber journey within an online context. And what we find is that frictionless subscription experiences have to span all customer touch points to really maximize loyalty and LTV and get the benefits of having the ability to build out retention. And so beyond some of the digital experiences that we've mentioned, or the really online focused ones, there's other ways that you can make your subscription experience truly omni-channel by expanding beyond D2C. So things like integrating your subscriptions into in-store, if you have physical locations, or even do in-person activations through apps, if you have an app, or even IoT devices. There's many different ways to expand the subscription experience beyond just your online store to continue driving that vision of relationship commerce. And all of this is really in service of breeding more sustainable growth by being able to build deeper relationships with your customers in all the different ways that they're interacting with your brand. So just to wrap things up, we want to end with what we call the relationship commerce flywheel. So as many here know, the era of growth at all costs is over. Brands are expected to grow fast, but also to do it profitably. And relationship commerce creates a flywheel that helps support that. By investing in building indispensable relationships with your customers, you're able to boost retention, which then means that you can afford higher customer acquisition costs by having a much healthier LTV to CAC ratio. And then by doing that, you can afford to acquire higher value customers, which then you continue to invest in building out those relationships with. So investing in relationship commerce is a unique solution that really kicks off this flywheel that helps to unlock profitable growth. And so that's all I have to share today. If you want to connect with a subscriptions expert, you can feel free to scan this QR code and chat with anyone on our team. And I see there are questions. I know I'm just about out of time, so I think I'm going to answer some of those in the chat and cede the floor to the next presenter. But thank you all for taking the time today to come to this presentation.
Awesome. Great job, Samantha. That was really, really valuable insights. Appreciate your help, and I definitely appreciate the insights about the one-click actions. The amount of times I've had a subscription brand just like perfectly execute an SMS at the right time to help me like pause the subscription and not lose me as a subscriber was crucial. But that was super helpful. I hope everyone enjoyed that. I'm actually going to be the next speaker today, where I will be speaking on behalf of Gorgeous's perspective on this topic. So I'm just going to bring up my presentation here. Cool. And I do actually believe, before I get started, that we have a $75 gift card voucher to announce that was provided by the Order Groove team and will be from an Order Groove customer of their choice. And our winner today is Albert. Albert, great engagement in the Albert S. Great engagement in the chat. Appreciate your questions and appreciate your context. So congratulations. Right, so on to the Gorgeous perspective on this topic. My plan here today is to dig into like what omnichannel truly means, especially from a communications angle, which is how we see it at Gorgeous. And we'll explore how to create a seamless experience for your customers by connecting all your channels and your data, and how leveraging AI can totally remove friction and speed things up for your customers to help them convert. So just a quick heads up, feel free to drop your questions in the chat as you've been going. I'm not a great multitasker, so I probably will answer them after I finish speaking, but I definitely will follow up in the chat or via email at the end of the webinar. But before we jump into the good stuff, I want to give a quick refresher on Gorgeous for anyone who's on the call that might not be familiar, and then we'll dive into today's discussion topic. So what is Gorgeous? We are a conversational AI platform that helps brands deliver exceptional customer experiences, both pre and post sale. We've been a key part of the Shopify ecosystem for nearly a decade, and today we're supporting over 16,000 brands across 125 countries with more than 55,000 support agents and sales reps that are logging in to use Gorgeous daily. And many of those of you who are familiar with Gorgeous, you probably thought of us primarily as a help desk tool, and you'd be absolutely right. We've proudly been the #1 help desk for Shopify brands for many years. But in 2024, we really leaned into the power of AI and took a massive leap forward as a platform. Last year, we launched our AI agent for support, and this truly supercharged the impact that we could have for brands, allowing them to automate up to 60% of their customer requests and conversations while actually boosting their customer satisfaction at the same time. And now, as we've moved into 2025, we're expanding just beyond, or expanding beyond just support, and starting to build AI directly into sales conversations with our shopping assistant. And this means providing a truly seamless pre-sales experience where AI can instantly answer customer questions and mimic that personalized touch that you would get from an in-store sales clerk, and ultimately drive higher conversion rates and revenue for your brand. But with that quick refresher out of the way, let's dive into the main topic of today: what omnichannel truly means and how can we deliver an omnichannel experience for our customers that will convert more. So when we think about omnichannel, it can be a bit buzzwordy, and it's easy to mix it up with multi-channel. A lot of brands are multi-channel. They have presence in email and social media and chat, and maybe even a phone line that customers can contact them at. But there's a big difference. True omnichannel is not about just being available in those channels, but it's about making those channels work together seamlessly, like one smooth journey for your customer. Your customers don't see separate channels, they don't fit in channels, they just see your brand. They expect to be able to reach your brand and pick up a conversation exactly wherever they want, whether that started in email and moved to chat or onto the phone. They want you to be able to keep the context of that conversation. And why does this matter so much? The numbers from top research firms are pretty clear. McKinsey tells us that if you nail omnichannel personalization, you can see your revenue jump by up to 15%, which is a huge impact. The Harvard Business Review found that customers who had a truly omnichannel experience came back to shop 23% more often within 6 months than those who had a single channel experience. And PwC found that 86% of buyers are actually willing to pay more for a great customer experience. That means making things easy and connected for your customers directly translates into more money in your pocket. And so this isn't just a fancy idea, it's a proven way to grow, driven by what customers expect and backed by solid data. Forrester succinctly put it that multi-channel is about a company's ability to interact with customers on various channels. Omnichannel is about a customer's ability to interact with your company on their terms seamlessly across channels. All right, so then let's move into sort of actions and what we can do about this and creating that omnichannel customer experience. First off, it's about getting the basics right and centralizing all your customer interactions into one place, and by doing that, really empowering your team. For many brands today, customer conversations are still all over the place. They have emails here, social media messages there, and maybe a separate chat tool or a phone tool that are feeding into completely different inboxes. This messy setup means that your support team doesn't often have the full picture of a customer's history. And so when customers reach out, they end up repeating themselves. Issues take longer to resolve. And honestly, it's just frustrating for everybody, both internally and externally. Now, with a single smart workspace where every single customer conversation, whether it started as an email or an Instagram DM or a website chat, pops up instantly, and the single source of truth gives your team a complete view into the customer's journey, what they've bought, what they've asked about before, everything is at their fingertips. This isn't just about being efficient, it's about letting your team actually offer a personalized experience. When they've got all that context, they can go beyond just fixing problems. They can offer helpful suggestions, quickly answer pre-purchase questions, and directly influence whether that customer converts or not. And this is where AI can really come in to support your team even further. Using a conversational AI agent can automatically handle all those easy, repetitive, where is my order, what is your return policy type questions. It's not about replacing your human team in any way. It's about empowering them to take on the more complex, meaningful conversations that they might have with a customer, and they can use their experience and their empathy to really build real connections, give customers a faster, more personal, and ultimately more impactful experience across all your channels. And the smart automation can help your team boost their kind of efficiency while also driving additional customer experience and customer happiness. And moving on from that, how do we create a seamless and instant experience between these channels when a customer is reaching out? So from their perspective, in today's world, customers expect things to be fast. They might be scrolling through Instagram, they might click on your ad, they might land on your website after that, and then they decide to ask a quick question in the chat. It all can happen across different channels very quickly. And if that move between those channels feels clunky, or if they have to re-explain everything or wait around for different responses, you're just introducing friction into that journey, and friction is the enemy of a conversion or a sale. A choppy experience can lead to frustration, abandoned carts, and ultimately lost revenue. The goal is for your customers to feel totally understood, no matter where they want to talk to you or how they want to talk to you. This means that if the conversation starts on social media and then jumps to your website, we want it to flow. We want it to, be context aware and have your team not have to repeat a single thing or your customers. So this is where, again, AI can help to speed up this process. Like an AI shopping assistant, for example, could come in. Think about if a customer is browsing at Instagram and then they land on your site, the next interaction might be just like a generic pop-up or a hello offer that a lot of brands offers today. But what if we could make that a personalized chat message that pops up referencing maybe the products that they've been viewing or the items that they've added to their cart, what pages are they looking at? Then we can offer them like real personalized guidance, education, and even discounts or whatever we need to help them get to checkout and make the decisions that they want to make as they go through the buying journey. This instant smart engagement removes that friction, and a shopping assistant can make sure that responses are immediate, keeping that seamless experience and making sure your customers don't drop off. By being instant and even proactive when they switch channels, you show them that you're truly connected, making it super easy for them, inviting them to move forward with their purchase. And the key to be able to leverage an AI shopping assistant or an AI agent in this way, or empowering your human team to be more proactive in delivering an omnichannel experience, is about leveraging your data to make sure that these interactions are hyper-personalized across all those channels. Every single interaction is a valuable piece of information, and when you bring all your customer conversations into one place, you're not just organizing things by team, you're building a rich, detailed view of your customer. And this includes their buying history, what they've browsed, past questions, what they've asked about, how they prefer to communicate with you. All of these things help you provide that personalized experience. And this means going beyond generic messages and truly understanding what individual customer needs are. For example, if a customer often looks at a certain product category, your team or your AI can proactively offer specific info, education, suggest related products. Excuse me, I've got some barking going on with the dog in the background. I think he might calm down in a second. Sorry about this. I'm just going to go calm him down quickly and I'll be back in 1 second. Sorry about that, team. Okay, so where was I? So yeah, if your human team or your AI can proactively offer specific info, suggest related products, or even pop up with a personalized discount, this isn't intrusive or creepy in any way. It's actually genuinely helpful and relevant for your customers. And when your agents have all this detailed data right at their fingertips, they can tailor their responses, their recommendations, or even their tone to fit perfectly to each customer. And this level of personalized engagement across channels helps boost the chances that you're going to get them to make a purchase and to convert. It turns a simple interaction into a meaningful brand experience, showing customers that you truly understand, that you value them, and that in turn leads to higher customer lifetime value and consistent revenue growth for your brand. So quickly to recap, I know I'm coming up on time for my segment as well. Delivering an omnichannel experience isn't just a strategic advantage, it's an imperative for conversion in today's market. We've seen the omnichannel experience. Omnichannel means creating a unified customer journey where every interaction is seamless and context aware, no matter the channel. And we've discussed how centralizing your data and communications into one single workspace and empowering your team with AI-powered engagement through conversational AI agents or shopping assistant allows instant responses, proactive outreach, and frees up your human team to focus on high-value, empathetic connections. The strategic use of AI ensures that every customer feels understood and valued from first touch. Ultimately, by embracing these principles and leveraging data for hyper-personalization, you transform transactional moments and opportunities and build them into deeper relationships. These authentic connections built on consistency and relevance across every single touch point are what truly drive customer loyalty and lifetime value. That is all for me today. If you are interested in learning more about Gorgias, you can book a call with our team using the QR code here. But for now, I'm going to give up the stage to our next speaker, which is Tamana Bawa from Triple Whale. Tamana, welcome to the stage.
Thank you so much. I'm not, there we go.
All good. I will.
There we go. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, hey, everyone. I'm Tamana Bawa. I'm excited to be here today. Gorgias, thank you for always having me on your webinars. In the next 10 minutes, I'm going to walk through what most agile and data-savvy Shopify brands are doing differently in 2025. Now, with tariffs back in the mix and acquisition costs at all-time highs, it's a difficult landscape. So hopefully I can give you a few tips and tricks to help in the year ahead. All right, here is our agenda for today. So I'll go over what Triple Whale is for those who are not familiar, why 2025 is so tough and what it demands. I'll cover 5 actionable steps to navigate the current climate. And then I'll also offer you guys an exclusive free analytics dashboard for all of our attendees here today. All right, now e-commerce brands today, they are drowning in data, but starving for insights that drive real action. And that's where Triple Whale comes in. Now, Triple Whale is the e-commerce intelligence platform built for faster, more confident decisions. Most analytics platforms, they're telling you what's happening, but here at Triple Whale, we actually help you understand why, and more importantly, what to do next. And I think that's really the difference between insights and intelligence. And at Triple Whale, we are not just another data tool. We are the go-to e-commerce intelligence platform for brands that are scaling fast and need clarity in their decision-making. Today, we actually are the proud source of truth for over 30,000 plus innovative brands. And those are brands on Shopify, BigCommerce, and WooCommerce. And that includes well-known names like Calpak, MeUndies, Roback, and so many more. And we're not just working with brands, we're actually powering an entire ecosystem of e-commerce growth. So with 2,000 plus trusted agency partners and 65 plus deep tech integrations, we ensure our customers get the most out of their data, from marketing to inventory to profitability. And if you're wondering what any of that looks like in action, please feel free to take a look at our website. We actually have a full section of case studies there. Now, why is 2025 so tough? Well, tariffs are back, adding 5 to 15% on the cost of key e-commerce goods. So what does that mean to you guys? Well, I'm sure you guys are already feeling it. That means your margins, they just got squeezed. And customer acquisition, it is harder than ever. The battle for attention is so fierce, and those rising ad costs, just look at CPMs across every major platform, they are climbing. So what now? Well, the smartest brands aren't just working harder, they're actually working smarter. And efficiency is truly the new growth hack. So again, tariffs are back and performance is down. Ad spend is just barely up from March at 638 million. ROAS is down from 34%, down 34%. And CPA, there's been a slight increase from $21.89 to $21.95. And AOV across the board has dropped hard from about $58 to about $48.62. So what does this mean to you guys? Well, price sensitivity is rising, and it's been summed up pretty well. Now, there's a new world of tariffs, but every competitor is in the exact same boat. So who's winning in this space? Well, Meta is still dominant with 70% of ad spend. Google is the most efficient platform, and TikTok had the lowest CPA and CPM. So to look at the big picture here, shoppers are changing. efficiency is down, and fast, flexible strategies matter more than ever before. So let's talk about staying ahead. Now, the e-commerce landscape is shifting super fast. Tariffs, rising CPAs, tighter margins. So how are the top Shopify brands not just surviving, but thriving? I'm going to go through that next. All right, so here are the 5 key strategies top Shopify brands are using to stay ahead. And I'm going to break it down further. This slide will come up again, so you can either take a screenshot of this or you can take it in a few slides from now, whatever helps you the best. All right, so first up, explore efficient pricing strategies. Now let's talk about pricing. It is not guesswork, it's an actual strategy. So raise your prices smartly by knowing your customers and testing before you scale. Add perceived value with bundles and premium SKUs. Refresh outdated models to reflect today's buyer behavior. And ultimately, let your data lead you. Focus on your best sellers and align your messaging. And a key bonus tip here is, here are the key data points that you want to be tracking. You should look at conversion rate, ROAS, contribution margin, and LTV. Now, these are really your North Stars when it comes to pricing strategy, so check them often and let them guide your decisions. Now, secondly, optimize your supply chain levers. Let's talk about margins again. So in this market, it's honestly just not about selling more, it's about keeping more. So start by negotiating with some of your suppliers. If you have outdated contracts, leverage softened demand and strong USD for better terms. Engineer around tariffs. So small changes to design or packaging can lower your HS score and your duties. And test alternative sourcing. Run 30-day sprints with factories in India, Bangladesh, or Mexico to compare real landed costs. Now, these moves, they might not feel flashy, but honestly, they're so powerful and they go straight to your bottom line. All right, next up, let's talk about diversifying your ad spend. So winning brands, they are moving fast. They trust their data and then they stay customer obsessed. So start by being agile and data driven. Listen to your numbers, test, adapt, repeat. And then get smart with your channel strategy. So we suggest that customers use Meta for broad reach and retargeting. Google is great for bottom funnel conversions. TikTok is good for products that have a low AOV. For companies that have low AOVs and new customer discovery. And Pinterest is great for niche plays in home, fashion, and lifestyle. So what we suggest here is set channel-specific KPIs. Now, each platform plays a completely different role, and don't hold each of them to the same standards. Efficiency isn't about doing more, it's about doing the right things in the right places at the right time. All right, next up, prioritize retention over acquisition. Now, retention is your edge and your margin. It drives stability, predictability, and profit. And here are some tactics that merchants are using that have really worked. So first up, use post-purchase surveys and SMS to build loyalty. And if you have that currently, take a look at it, audit it, make it better. Next, reward VIPs with perks and early access. Also, you can retarget past buyers with retention-focused ads. And lastly, launch loyalty and referral programs that really drive engagement. And constantly look at these different things that you have going on and see how you can fix them to make them better and better. Now, overall, focus on value, not just features. Loyal customers want relevance and they want connection, because at the end of the day, retention isn't just a marketing play, it is your most efficient growth lever. All right, lastly, let's talk about embracing AI that actually helps you act fast. Now, e-commerce brands that adopt AI, they are the ones that are seeing real results. And according to McKinsey, e-commerce businesses that use AI can actually increase their profitability by up to 25%. Now, that's because AI isn't just making things faster, it's making decision-making smarter. And in an industry where margins are so incredibly tight and competition is fierce, these small efficiency gains can honestly mean the difference between scaling profitability and just getting left behind. Now, as our CEO, AJ, puts it, AI will evolve from a tool to a true co-pilot for business strategy. Brands will start leveraging generative AI to process and analyze far more data than was humanly possible before, giving them a deeper, broader understanding of their business. Now, as an example, Dixon, they have a very lean marketing team, and they were spending 5+ hours a week analyzing ad performance until they used Moby agents, which automated the process. Now it took hours, happens in under 10 minutes, which is saving them 260+ hours per year. Now, to break that down, that is almost like 1 hour per working day. Can you imagine what you can be doing with that much time? Now, AI isn't just saving time, it is optimizing growth. So let's summarize it. So this is the screenshot I mentioned. Feel free to take a screenshot of this slide. 2025 is going to reward brands that move fast, stay sharp, and get more out of every dollar. And with attribution clarity, smarter AI decision-making, and better data fueling your ads, you're not just surviving this new landscape, you're winning it. All right, so before AI can drive action, you guys need a solid data foundation. And that's why we offer a free dashboard, giving brands a starting point to understand their performance. You can't optimize what you don't understand. Our free dashboard gives brands an easy way to make more data-driven decisions with no strings attached. So shortly, I will post the link in the chat. I'm also going to send you guys my LinkedIn and my email address. I probably didn't get to all the questions in the chat, so feel free to reach out. To me. Thank you guys so much, and Gorgeous, thank you again for having me.
No worries, that was great, Tamana. Appreciate all the insights shared, and we definitely have some good engagement in the chat and some questions that you can jump in and answer there. But thanks for all you presented. We'll let you jump off, and we've got our final speaker coming on stage, Mike Rossi from Smile.io. But before we get started, Mike, I'm just going to announce a couple of winners of our prizes. So I forgot to mention, Gorgeous is giving away a pair of AirPods Pro, and that is going to Jennifer Harmon. Jennifer, appreciate the questions in the chat. I've got a couple of follow-ups to get to there, and then the Triple Whale team has got a $75 Visa gift card that will be going to Dennis Hodges. Congratulations, Jennifer and Dennis. That was awesome. I'll step out of your way, Mike, and let you bring us home here with your presentation from Smile.
Cool. Thanks, Paul. I also have a dog that responds similarly to delivery people, so he might be joining the call as well. So we'll see. But yeah, thanks for having me again. Love joining these events, and we see a lot of merchants. So happy to share sort of what we're seeing and what we're seeing work well, particularly when it comes to omnichannel and loyalty. We're seeing some really cool stuff, and so I'm going to go through what we're seeing and how that fits into the overall customer journey, and hopefully you can take some ideas away for your business and sort of pick and choose what will work for you. So a bit of background on me. I've been in e-commerce over 12 years, all the way from sort of the Magento days into the more modern Shopify days. I've advised hundreds of merchants on successful loyalty programs, some not so successful loyalty programs, and we learn from those, and then we make more successful ones over time. And we've scaled Smile, like the Shopify app, to over 80,000 Shopify stores now. And so we're the #1 loyalty app on Shopify, and we see a lot of individual programs, but then we see a lot of aggregate data. So we have a good idea of what performs and what doesn't, and we hope to bring those insights to you as part of things like this. So we've also seen a variety of businesses across different countries as well, and that gives us a good perspective on what works well in different countries and also different channels, which is the flavor of the presentation today. So you are probably part of several loyalty programs yourself, and we all know some world-class omni-channel programs. Some great examples are the Delta Sky Miles, the Sephora Insider Rewards, or the Starbucks Rewards program. And each of these programs does a good job of expanding their reach into the different channels within which the brand operates. And as a business, you're probably not strictly an e-com D2C brand. If you are, you're probably the exception now, and you're starting to think about how you can expand into other channels. The loyalty program is a great multiplier of your brand's presence across those. The world-class programs that we see are the things that we try to help growing and fast-growing D2C merchants or omni-channel merchants to mimic. And when we see a world-class program like Starbucks, there's a lot of examples of how they're stretching the loyalty program to interact with email, with in-person stores, with the mobile app, and allowing you to actually interact with this program regardless of what channel you're interacting with the brand in. And so that's what we're seeing from world-class programs. Again, like, these programs exist because they improve customer lifetime value primarily, and they allow you to discount less as a brand. So we all know brands that you only buy from when there's a discount going on. And I have brands personally that I only shop from when they're running a 25% off sale. You don't want to be one of those brands, because you're training customers to only interact with you when you are discounting, and you become known as a discount brand. A loyalty program is a great alternative to that. And it's almost a lifeline that we're seeing some brands use to pull themselves out of this habit of discounting and the cycle that they've got into, where they've trained customers to only purchase from their brand during a promotion. We have Memorial Day coming up. I'm sure many of you are thinking about running a promotion. Obviously, think through, like, how do you want to have a lasting impression with the customer, and how are you going to create a relationship with that customer such that they'll purchase from you at full price later on. Some secondary benefits are that a loyalty program often is a competitive advantage. Like, it provides you with the ability and excuse almost to offer really cool rewards, exclusive benefits, and create maybe even marketing events that we see some merchants doing around launches, drops, exclusive loyalty program VIP benefits, especially if you have a geographical concentration of customers. And then as merchants get larger and faster growing, loyalty program is a great reason to incentivize customers to give you data. And we'll get into a couple examples of how brands do that. But loyalty programs are really simple. They are incentives that you provide to the customer, and visibility. Though if you do both of those really well, and you match up the incentives with your customer profile and your purchase frequency, and then you get great visibility throughout the customer journey and throughout the different channels that you interact with customers in, you're going to see great results. So the focus of this presentation is, and really the theme that you're seeing throughout today, is omnichannel, which is the visibility of things. Like, how do you have a consistent promise, a consistent visibility across the different channels? When we think about this in the context of a loyalty program, great visibility means layering loyalty throughout the omni-channel journey. And really, if you start at the top here in this cycle, you have consideration, where people are maybe seeing your brand for the first time, or it's sort of the first jump that they make into the top of funnel. You have the checkout or on-site, so product display pages, your website, in-store. We have post-purchase, so order status page, emails, account pages, returns, and tracking. And then you have re-engagement, which is retargeting, email, SMS ads, social events, that sort of stuff. And so when we think about great loyalty programs, they do a good job of layering themselves throughout the experience in the context that is right for their brand. So going through some examples of this so you can get some inspiration is in pre-purchase, there's a couple really cool ways that we're seeing advanced brands do this. So first is activating customers on your social channels and starting to get customers to interact with the loyalty program and join the loyalty program from things like Instagram DMs and social media posts. And we're seeing really forward-thinking brands able to use Smile, and we partner with Gatsby on the ability to join a loyalty program from an Instagram DM. This is a huge sort of engagement driver for what could be like a wasted sort of viral post into something that can actually get customers into the top of the funnel. And if a customer cares enough to join the loyalty program, they're probably going to think about making a purchase down the line. We also think about pre-purchase programs, and I wouldn't recommend advertising your loyalty program pre-purchase unless you are very, very confident in your data. But when we see world-class programs doing this really well, they extend the pre-purchase sort of offers when they're loyalty focused into very constrained sort of target audiences where they're confident that they can advertise the loyalty program into those bases of customers. So ads are often the first touch point that a customer has with your brand. And so if the timing is right and the data is right, then or the data is sort of able to get you confidence with the audience, then you're actually able to advertise the loyalty program way up in the funnel and bring customers down with a loyalty experience. So Starbucks is obviously the exception because their purchase frequency is so high. But if you start to really develop a solid loyalty program strategy, you'll build up data where you can actually do similar. When we sort of work our way through the customer experience, when we're thinking about during purchase, this is where the number of channels is actually the highest that you can probably layer loyalty throughout. So when we think about the sort of bread and butter of most merchants in the D2C space, it's the website. And on-site consideration product display pages is where you're going to be able to layer the loyalty program experience in a very passive way to increase conversion, increase sort of add to cart rates, and get customers sort of aware there's going to be some reciprocity as part of this relationship. Like they are going to get something back and there's going to be an ongoing relationship. When you're saying, like when you're advertising a loyalty program rather than, or loyalty benefits, doesn't even have to be like a points-based program, but you're advertising like benefits that are going to be ongoing with the customer as opposed to a one-time upfront discount, it implies that most customers have a long-term relationship with that brand. Subscriptions is obviously one of the ultimate end goals for several brands, but showing that there's going to be some ongoing rewards is a great way of just implying that most customers have a longer-term relationship with your brand, which creates a bit of peer pressure. Then we have on-site in terms of like checkout earning. And so this is a huge conversion increase tactic that we see many merchants do, which is where the ability to show what you're going to get post-purchase as you're checking out is something that just pushes a lot of customers over the line rather than like an incremental discount. So obviously giving a discount through the form of like a loyalty benefit on a future purchase is much better for your margins. We're talking about like constrained margins due to tariffs and sort of the economic environment. Being able to discount a future purchase is much better than discounting a today purchase. And so that's what earning at checkout is able to do. And this is one of the things we see almost all of the most successful programs that we interact with and we run, we see them doing this. We also have checkout redemption. So this is obviously customers who are coming back, but being able to actually allow customers to realize liquidity of the rewards that they've done. Being able to do this obviously increases conversion rate. It's almost like an unexpected surprise for many customers if they maybe forgot they had enough points or enough benefits to actually realize some sort of discount on their purchase. And then this is where things get really sort of omni-channel, is where if you're able to, and you have owned retail stores where you're using, let's say, for example, Shopify POS or something else, then you're able to extend the loyalty program and loyalty program experience with a consistent sort of program structure, visibility, and look and feel into the retail stores. Some background on us, we used to be an agency before we ran Smile, and we had so many requests from merchants to be able to span a loyalty program across their point of sale systems and their e-commerce stores. The time is now. Like you're actually able to do this now, and it's super cool. And like this was the dream sort of like when we first got started in e-commerce. It's super cool that merchants are now able to actually have a loyalty program that spans both of their POS and their online channels. One of the really sort of cool benefits of this is it encourages customers to give you their contact information, because you obviously can't join a loyalty program without handing over some sort of information. This is one of the ways that merchants are able to build up lists of very loyal customers who shop with them in store through reciprocity of a program on an ongoing basis. I have a coffee shop that I buy from locally. They do exactly this. They're using Smile plus loyalty program, and I'm incentivized to hand over my information so that I can actually earn benefits on an ongoing basis. This is where I wanted to talk about something that's a little bit further out there. And so many of you, if you're D2C brands, the dream is to get into retailers nationwide, like Walmart, Target, 7-Eleven, if you're in North America. A lot of those purchases are going to happen and you're not going to have any idea of what the customer profile is. But if you're actually able to reach out and encourage customers who are purchasing with you at retail locations to purchase with you or purchase at those retail locations and then join your loyalty program through things like receipt scanning and receipt submission in order to join the loyalty program, even if a very small percentage of customers do that, you're able to get a representative demographic of what your customer base looks like. So there's obviously a conversion into a very loyal customer that can happen. And we see this with merchants who are doing this with Smile and receipt scanning. But what you're able to do actually is extend that sort of offer out into retail. And then you're able to inform yourself as to what your retail purchaser customer looks like in terms of identity, demographics, location, and then you're able to advertise better. So it's a cool sort of flywheel. It can be done with merchants usually who have an existing loyalty program and are now starting to extend that, like an existing D2C or POS and D2C loyalty program, and are now looking to extend that into their physical retail presence. So we've seen cool success with programs that we've run doing this, and like here's an example with Liquid Death and a bit of the workflow of how this works. Again, this is sort of should be inspiration, should get some ideas going of how you can use loyalty programs as a tool to sort of extend yourself across different channels. And then, of course, we have post-purchase. So like the goal, like you've heard about the importance of retention from several of the speakers here, but post-purchase is where you make a lot of money when it comes to loyalty programs. So being able to layer loyalty benefits, layer loss aversion, so points expiry, double points events, different like exclusive events that you're running for VIP members. All of this stuff typically gets the highest bang for buck, the absolute highest return through email. We have a very close relationship with Klaviyo, where you're actually able to send all of the loyalty program events and all the loyalty program triggers to or properties to Klaviyo. We do similar with Gorgeous, where you're actually able to layer this into your customer experience or your customer support experience as well. But email is sort of one of the ways that we see loyalty programs extending themselves into that post-purchase experience through strategic flows, re-engagement, all that sort of fun stuff. Again, here's a cool example from Starbucks where here's a reward I'm getting on my birthday. And I'm sure if you're part of the Starbucks program, you've received similar and gone and got your free drink. SMS is emerging as also somewhere where loyalty programs are being really sort of almost like marketed in a faster way. Like you can actually send more SMS messages within a shorter period of time than you can with email to get sometimes even greater results depending on the brand, the demographic, and things like that. So it feels really personal when you're doing this. So it has to be almost more informal. You can't put all the text that you would necessarily put in an email, but we're seeing loyalty programs sort of extending into SMS in a really cool way. And then there's other post-purchase opportunities. Like you're the experts at your own customer base and your product. And so you're going to know where would a customer like to feel appreciated? Where would they like to get some benefits back? Sometimes you have customers who check the order tracking page or order status page like 10 times. Okay, that's probably somewhere where you could probably use to inject some upsell, cross-sell opportunities, re-engagement. Sometimes there's a lot of returns and brands have 30, 40% return rates. You should probably think about how you can layer loyalty program benefits into a return experience as opposed to just straight giving cash back to customers sometimes. And then slips in product packaging and on a package promotional material. And we see, again, talking about world-class programs, we see Sephora doing a really, really good job of this throughout all their packaging, and some of the forward-thinking merchants that we work with do a really, really great job of this. So again, great visibility of the program. I talked about incentives plus visibility equals results when it comes to loyalty program. Focusing on visibility, visibility means layering loyalty throughout, and loyalty experiences, appreciation, reciprocity throughout this omni-channel journey. As a merchant, you're going to have your own distribution of what percentage of sales happen through D2C, POS, B2B, and retail. And you're going to know sort of, okay, where do I need to actually expand more into? Where do I need to appreciate customers more? And then start thinking about some of the tactics that I talked about here and where you can actually expand a loyalty program into to get customers feeling a little bit more appreciated, some of the loss aversion, some of the exclusivity, and all the cool things that come along with great loyalty programs that you see and are probably a member of. So we love this quote here at Smile, but a brand is a promise performed consistently over time. We think that's very true when it comes to the appreciation you show to a customer. They should feel the same on the D2C website as they do if you have a great POS owned retail location, as they should feel if they shop in retail, or even if you have B2B buyers. So if you'd like to chat with our team, email me directly, DM me anytime, book a demo with us. Happy to help. We've seen a lot of these programs, so happy to help with your particular situation. And wanted to thank the gorgeous team for having me today.
Awesome. Thanks for that, Mike. That was really great. Appreciate all the insights. It was actually super interesting learning about the going further into your third-party retail sales and being able to collect loyalty that way. I haven't heard of that.
Yeah, totally. I'll jump over to the chat now, look at some of the questions.
Yeah, perfect. And I've got a couple of things just to wrap up here. I will announce the winner of a $75 gift card that Smile is providing for one of their merchants of your choice. And that is going to Mark Lewis. Congrats to Mark. Thanks for the engagement. And I'm just going to share my screen again quickly here to wrap things up today. I wanted, before we finish, just to highlight this upcoming webinar that we have as part of our DTCX webinar series. On June the 30th, we're hosting a human versus AI webinar on how to strike the right balance there. And you can use the QR code on screen if you want to RSVP for that event. We'd love to have you join the speakers from Gorgeous and our other incredible partners that will be on the call to learn more and share feedback about this topic. And thanks, just to wrap up, for everyone joining us today. We hope you all took a bunch of insights from the partners on the call about how to deliver an omnichannel experience that converts. I want to thank all of our speakers for their fantastic presentations. Please engage with them and their teams after the webinar. And if their services are a fit for your business, please reach out to them. And congratulations to all the winners of our special giveaways. We love seeing so much engagement in the chat, and we really appreciate everybody staying on and asking questions of the speakers. And we will be sending out a follow-up email with the recording and this presentation deck that will be shared. And we look forward to seeing everyone on the next DTCX webinar. But thanks again, folks. We'll see you on the next one.